So, yeah, in this sense, little victories.
Victory or death. What about second place?
Not an option.
Anyways, we return back to the Tales of Midcryu, where the party has left their letter, or whatever they were supposed to deliver to Count Drake, and then decide to go shopping! I don't know why I did that voice.
Hell yeah!
I really regret it.
It was, yeah, no, that was the perfect one.
Anyways,
How many letters of that word did you get out before you started regretting the decision?
S. Anywho, everyone has gone shopping, and some people are now broke. Others
Hey.
have started clearing out bookstores.
Got an
Unfortunately, we are
extra
down in Amavasya tonight. Yes, that. And we left off last session with a new person introducing themselves to the party. We leave off in the middle of the street.
The person you're addressing isn't here, so good luck.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. Who was he with?
They were with everyone.
Oh, yes, yeah, they. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was just
was just
Amavasya.
And yes,
In the middle of the
Amavasya
street.
isn't here tonight. So Amavasya, if you're homesick listening to this game happening from the comfort of your home,
You will pay for this. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh god.
I was just gonna go with like a, hey, fuck you, but...
Maybe it's Russell that's gonna die.
I guess as Amavasya fades from Orion's immediate perception, he will look to the next member of the
Just
party.
kind of look over, kind of deer in headlights, and just kind of slink around behind.
No, Amavasya flashes just a piece and then disappears.
Smoke bomb. Hi. I'm Orion. I'm a doctor. I technically still am a doctor, but not licensed anywhere, which is why I'm here in the city, because, in the city of crime, where, being a doctor is pretty low on the radar for the authorities. And yeah, the big guy with the raccoon, he gave me gold and said you guys needed a healer, and so here I am. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he will go around, do the very, interview handshake with everybody.
so upon this introduction, Lena has taken 3 big steps back from the group and stumbles away and leans against a wall.
Is your friend okay? Do you need medical assistance?
That's just how
fine.
she is.
Sounds like a need for amputation. It was a joke. It was a joke. Medical humor wasn't the right time.
Okay, important things off.
I'm sure you probably could. You look very intimidating.
She'll start dry heaving. She'll just turn around and start dry heaving. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right.
Well, Dr. Orryn, it's a pleasure to meet you. As Grayson, visibly steps between him and Lina. Just...
It's a pleasure to meet you too. What is where's your party going, Grayson?
Well, currently we're just staying in the city, but you'll kind of look over towards Jasnah to see if she wants to reveal or not.
We're going somewhere very dangerous. And it's probably not a good idea for someone unaccustomed to such travels to go?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that I am opposed to danger. I was number one in the Fisticuffs League at the local briary.
Really now? That's
Well,
an impressive title to hold.
it was Little League Fisticuffs, but yeah, I still remember some of the old moves, and he's gonna like do a little air boxing. This guy does not look intimidating, by the way.
Lena is now trying really hard not to actually throw up.
Little as in, like, you participated and beat up a bunch of kids?
When I was a child.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I was hoping this wasn't going to have to go south.
I was hoping he was just gonna say yes.
By the way,
Their ass.
by the way, we need to leave now.
This was 10 minutes ago. We need to leave.
Point of interest for everyone. Orryn is just studying his new scrolls and has paid no attention to this new person.
Very on brand.
Just staying near someone, and when they move, he moves.
I like to imagine he's holding onto Lena as Lena's stumbling around.
Yeah, he's just holding someone's hand like a child reading a comic book. Like,
I don't think he's holding someone's hand, but he just has someone just like in his periphery, and yeah, is just following them. Just whenever they step in a direction, he steps in that direction.
but yes, my talents. So job interview, of course. I first off am a trained doctor. Did have a license at one point, and it was taken away very unfairly, I should say. My
Might I
research
ask
was
how?
provided. Yes, you may actually. I am a research doctor. I research a lot of different things. Mainly, my research has been going into the shortening lifespans of creatures that have longer lives than humans, and the regression of those lifespans. Somewhere in my research, I ruffled some feathers for some people who didn't want some stuff out there in the public, and they stripped me of my medical license and my credibility, which is part of the road of how I ended up here. But I still maintain my research and my drive to help the sick and wounded. By the way, monk person, I don't know you're a monk. Drunk person is what I meant to say. If you need any help, I'm still offering.
Floridian slip, it's fine.
Just if you need any help at all, it's like 3 in the afternoon, right?
It's like,
Yeah, it was a little after noon, yeah. But
Because we went to see the Duke, Count, one of the two?
count.
See, sort of remembered.
how would you forget the accountant was titled The Count?
Listen, you've known me for how long and known how bad my memory is?
But that should have been the meme that sticks!
the account count.
But yes.
Shit, now I don't remember what I was saying.
You're welcome. Thanks for
I-
adding me.
Due to my studies in the shortening lifespans of creatures, I am technically classified as a death cleric, but we're not all doom and gloom. Some of us can be quite good, have nice senses of humor, like,
Oh, that's well appreciated.
yeah, so that's, I can be a little bit quirky, a little bit awkward.
Can't we all?
Yes, that is I am Orion.
Now, Orion, based on your field of study, would the name Yorash come up as familiar?
Let me think on that and ask my god, who I just called the DM. The DM! Would this name sound familiar to I?
Give the history check. Not really familiar with this person.
No, I don't believe that that name has come across my studies.
Good answer.
I mainly stick to the physiological side of things rather than the historical nuances.
They're not really a history person. They just for some explanation to you as a player, this happened before you joined us. Yoresh was one of the first people that they kind of met. Wasn't a very good person.
And
Oh.
he was in the same field of study as you.
Oh, okay. I did not know that as a player.
Except he was like torturing baby dragons to see if he could.
And
extend people's
people,
lives.
don't forget people.
And people, that's correct. Both. In combination, specifically, to see if he could extend lifespan.
But there were
But
many
we sacrificed him to Igor.
more evil applications of the stuff he was researching.
There was a little
which Orryn still has, actually. But
and Lena knows nothing about.
Yeah.
But he's not paying any attention to this conversation, so he has no idea about the connection.
I was just all said out of character. If you want to inform him about any of this,
Nope.
Eventually,
No,
probably.
but I think like just like as he like mentions his field of study, like all of them probably just kind of tensed up, like visibly, like
Except for Lena, everyone collectively puckered really hard.
well, we and Orryn, since Orryn isn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just felt like I interrupted you, so I didn't want to.
No, it's okay.
But yes, I'm not the best in an altercation, but I definitely won't run away. Well, I mean, I may check out a little bit, but that's nothing that you guys should be concerned of. It's just fight or flight, fight or flight. That reflexes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Now, we thank you for your application. I think we're going to group up and talk about it real quick.
Oh, of course. I'll just step into the bookshop.
No, don't worry, you're fine.
Okay.
We have to call your references. Check in on your old job. Take about a week. We're gonna need you to take a drug test.
I feel like the job thing will go bad, seeing as I'm a disgraced doctor. But feel free to.
Did you write a cover letter? It's very important.
I was handed 100 gold by a tall giant with a raccoon on his head and told your general location. So I didn't generally expect my day to go this way, but I wasn't going to say no when the opportunity came.
No. We'll need 5 gold with your application for a credit check.
I would like to insight that.
says the two people that aren't paying any attention or are acting like they're wrong.
Are you saying this, Orryn?
No.
Okay.
That was a joke.
Well, Jasnah.
Just double checking.
Poke Orryn, because he should be involved in this conversation too. Well, having a healer would definitely be a boon considering where we were going, but a couple things there gave me pause.
I can't heal or anything.
We need.
He's got a real just like smart ass smile.
You know, she's just gonna give him a look like we need help. Like, we really need help.
Have you guys moved basically moved the huddle to surround Lena and Orryn?
Essentially. But she would
I
poke
imagine...
Orryn because she's pretty sure Orryn is actually not paying attention, but Lena is probably paying attention.
Lena has analyzed every single word that has come out of this mouth now.
After the second or third poke, he'll blink up at you.
And just gesture over at Orryn. We have a new applicant. Apparently.
Mo sent him this way. And is apparently not rejoining us, so...
Ah.
Oh, he's probably off committing regicide.
That is how he left last time.
That is a fair point. Maybe we should find him and check in.
Or we cut all ties very quickly, so that
One of the
it
two.
can't be traced back to us.
Good idea.
Yeah, so Lena's leaning against you, with her head on your shoulder, continuing the ruse.
Yeah, she's very like straight backed and arms folded across her chest, and she'll just kind of.
How tall is Jasnah?
Did I put it in here? Let me see. Fairly tall.
Okay, so Lena,
Then
who's
what
was
4'9".
that? Oh, 4'9".
Lena,
She's
who's-
a foot taller.
So Lena is just like leaning against you.
Tiny elf person, large dragon
Lena.
person.
Ooh.
This
I did
goes.
not realize how short you were.
Lena is a short girl.
But
That's a matter
Lena
of
is short and
perspective.
115 pounds.
That is a matter of perspective.
she still
Fair,
got
fair.
almost like
You are
2 feet on
you
her.
are not almost exactly.
But I've been trying to put together a group of people that can hopefully survive where we're going, and the more
Maybe
healing.
we take him out and test it.
I'll keep him with us, and if he starts dying, well, stop that and then send him back.
There are places north where one can be tested.
Not a bad idea.
I
Just
think
his
that's the entire point of going up there, is that we're all going to be tested, whether we like it or not.
it's his field of study that gave me pause, considering what happened the last time we ran into someone who was looking into such things.
I will
Yes,
expect
that
an
was highly
explanation
concerning.
for that at some point.
Yes.
What was his field of study?
You remember your Ash, don't you?
Ah,
Yes. And he's also a doctor who has lost his medical license.
From the sound of it, he's not a medical doctor.
Not anymore. That's for sure.
Shall we then?
No,
do we?
I say we give him a shot. We need all the hope we can get, and I don't think we're just going to pick somebody up who happens to want to go to the Black Barrow. So,
Do we have any proof that Mo sent him?
fair point.
Considering what your friend looks like, I don't think we're going to get much proof. Wow, her accent is all over the place today.
She's drunk.
Dialing it in, dialing it in. She's actually stone sober, dialing it in.
She's acting drunk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a note, man. Take it.
I admit when my accents are full of shit.
Because I would say that either he was probably sent by Mo, or he was sent by whoever was in charge of those bandits who ambushed us on the way here.
Again, you're going to have to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Bandits
Once we
ambushed us on the
sit
way
down for
here.
it. Well, I guess that is the explanation.
We will talk about this when I am less in ruse.
Once we've decided that, don't need to fake it around Orryn.
I'm going to continue to fake it for at least the rest of the day.
Fair enough. Seems like a good man, though, from first impressions. So, shall we then?
Seems
Can
like
I-
an idiot, but
With a
Be
16
replacing one from
insight
another.
peering back over at Orryn.
yeah,
Like what
Yeah, I was gonna ask too. Can I make an insight as to what his motive is? Is it just the money? Is it the excitement of adventure? Does he think he's gonna find something? Like,
Sure, give me an insight check. And Black Knights, are you trying to hide your emotions?
I am being almost entirely honest. My motives would probably be to get out of the city and
Hold on. Let them
Okay.
roll their insights. I'm just trying to
Okay.
see, based off. I'd give a DC based off of how much you're actually showing it.
17.
Jasnah?
It was 16.
16.
All right, go ahead with your description.
Yeah, so he does seem excited at the thought to get out of the city and be practicing his work again. As long as you guys are okay with having a doctor who is technically not a doctor at the moment. It does seem like he's holding some stuff back, but you're also talking to him in a crowded street for the first time, and
In Scenario City.
yeah, where he's learned to be a little bit more closed off around here. Can't let too many people know too much about him for personal safety.
Yeah.
So is it unanimous?
I believe so.
Did I notice them look back at me?
Were you guys hiding it?
Not really. Just kind of like
No.
glance over. Not like staring. Just kind of like turning her head to glance over at him and then go back to the conversation.
Lena
Or-
made herself look super fucking judgy.
So as they all look over, I'll pull out of my bag, be like, I also have this really cool stick, and it's an immovable rod.
Lena, are you still leaning against the wall?
I'm leaning against Jasnah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still against the wall for some reason.
Now
Orion.
I'm just imagining how useful an immovable rod would be for a drunk person who wants to stand up. You can just lean wherever you are.
Honestly, I didn't
Or
even
just
think
sit on
about
it
that
all the time.
application.
Just the fact of that, and then Lena pretending to be drunk all over the place. I'm like, that could be useful.
I had a gunslinger character that got an immovable rod and used it as a mobile sniper's nest.
Ooh.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Orion, you notice behind all of them, as they're kind of staring over at you, a door suddenly appears behind them. It's velvet blue in color and has a weird marking on the front of it.
Pointing with my rod, I'm gonna be like, was that one of you guys that made that? It's quite cool. Nifty.
Oh.
If we glance
That's-
back, we see the door.
Yes, everyone, including Lena.
Grayson's gonna quickly, not run, but walk up to Orryn, real fast, okay, come with us.
Lena's going
Congratulations,
to...
you got the job.
Oh, good. I'm already packed. I'm ready to go. Whatever you guys are.
All right, excellent. Let's go through the door
Oh,
before anybody
Lena's-
else sees it.
Wait,
Lena's gonna
okay.
look at the
What-
door, look at the mug she just bought, look back at the door, look back at the mug. Fucker lied to me.
Wait, what?
She got
Yeah.
a mug that doesn't get her drunk, no matter how much she drinks out of it.
Oh, I thought she got the.
No,
right.
yes, no, just kind of pat her on the back and come on.
Oh, I thought she got the mug that filled up 3 times a day with the liquor.
No, you said it was the mug that doesn't.
Oh.
That
They had
purifies
both,
the
so I
alcohol.
got confused. But okay, that's all note for that. But yeah, it's there.
Grayson will attempt to bring Orryn through quickly in case anybody else just happens to spot the door.
I mean, Orion's not gonna fight you on this. He's just gonna be sitting there you're gonna pushing him. He's like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I should learn a little bit about the door. And you get to the door and you just shove him in.
You go to open the door
Pass me
and
around.
it is locked.
Shit. Grayson will look out at the, I suppose.
Have you tried knocking?
And it opens inward.
He already knows. And Grayson will, unlock it.
Blink, blink, blink.
Door in the United as Grayson goes through.
It does cut off as soon as his head disappears.
Blink.
Also, Zach, you are still DM on Discord. I just realized.
Yes.
You're also all... Those of you who haven't entered are looking around, and it appears that nobody has really noticed that either the door, that the door is there, and there are people walking around in the streets, a number of people, but none of them appear to notice the door or notice that two people just disappeared into a wall.
Orion is frantically like trying to understand what's going on. I guess until he gets pushed through.
You were
Orryn
already
will-
pushed through
Oh,
from
okay.
Grayson.
Orryn will say to Lena, remember when you thought we were talking nonsense? You go in there, it probably won't sound like nonsense anymore. And then walk through.
Okay. And she links arms with Jasnah and just is escorted in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have all our stuff on the other side?
Amavasya goes in last, just kind of skipping in and closes the door behind themselves. A moment later, light returns, and you enter into the Velvet Room. It looks pristine and the same as it has been before. It appears Igor's desk is back out into the main foyer as well. He's, as usual, sitting and smiling.
I am so confused.
Igor, good to see you again.
Do I still have my immovable rod in my hands?
Yeah, you have a rod in your hands.
So Orion at this point is going to be sitting there like holding it out like it's a sword. Like, what is going on?
Hello there, and welcome to my Velvet Room. My
Okay.
name is Igor. I am the master of this place. There's no need for that. And he gestures to the rod in your hand.
Yeah, no, that I can be lethal with this, don't you know?
No, you can't.
Okay.
And Miss Lena, no, you are not drunk. And no, he did not sell you an in-working item.
Point of order: as soon as she walked into this place, she stopped acting drunk.
I know. Alright, I kind of guessed.
Can I
He still
ask
says
you,
that regardless.
am I a doctor?
What is your definition of a doctor?
I was hoping you would just say yes, so it would make my job application look that much better than these new folk.
Not
But
very. The
Oh,
fact that the
don't
door
worry.
showed up is the best thing you could have gotten.
Okay.
He just laughs and grins. And so I may introduce you to the staff. To the new ones. And he gestures around and introduces everyone. Margaret bows. The pianist nods, and the singer continues to sing. Please, the two new ones, come forward, if you don't mind.
I will walk forward while trying to put my immovable rod back in my bag.
Yeah, just put your rod back in your pants. No need to take that out.
Grayson pats you on the shoulder as you head towards him.
I believe that I might have been ill-informed on what this job was.
Oh no, they informed you quite well of what they plan on doing. I am merely an observer of this little band. And with the two new individuals, I've grown even more interested. The others have their own dealings, and I shall continue to watch over them as well. But this group is my main focus, at least in this world. He waves his hand over the table, and the cards appear. Please, each of you, choose one. There are no choices.
I choose a card.
As soon as you touch it, he starts kind of laughing.
Like, as soon as I touch it, he starts laughing. I'm gonna like pull back and like look at him, look at the card.
It's just very ironic. You'll see.
Can I go inside my own head and see if Marius is there?
You go to look, and it's empty. Igor kind of laughs again. Oh, don't worry. I have him in the back room. For now.
Oh,
For now, I'm conversing with you.
okay. I will pick up my card.
You flip it over. A pale rider sits across a pale horse, a scythe leaning over one of his shoulders. The number is 13. Death. Ah, now do you get it? Endings, change, transformations, transitions. This are all the meaning and part of death. It is your card, and it shatters.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I have more, but first, let the other step forward and grab their card.
Lena has and has.
Has and has.
Oh, yeah. You pick it up, and a large moon is in the background of this card. Two dogs howl up towards it on opposite sides. 18. The moon. Intuition. Repressed emotions. And fear. Quite the
Right.
interesting choice.
I would have assumed the fool.
Oh, the fool has already left you all. He's on his own journey now.
Ha!
That's
Why are we laughing?
We're not.
Mo was the one who pulled the fool.
It, as it clicks with Grayson, just a single loud laugh.
Thank you both for participating. If you both would join me, you can choose who goes first. I have a gift, an opportunity to both of you. The others have
I am
received
going-
this as well. And
I'm going to turn to Lena. Oh, sorry.
he snaps his fingers and flash, he's gone, and the door appears in the back.
I will turn to Lena and be like, "Oh, please, after you."
Lena will turn back to the rest of the group and go, "This man was very creepy."
Yep.
Very odd person indeed.
And then she will walk towards the door.
Are the rest of you guys just standing around, or
Grayson's
Take a
probably
seat.
like making his way to the bar. Or is the bar there?
oh yeah, the bar, everything
Alright,
else
cool.
is there. Tables, bar, Margaret.
Yeah, he'll go up and get a drink, I suppose.
Yes, I will join him this time.
I'm guessing Orryn's with his scrolls.
He's probably studying the room.
Fair enough.
Do I stay here? Or do I go to the bar? I like turn around to the nearest party member and like trying to figure out what I do next.
It's just Amavasya kind of squatting in the corner, petting a rat.
Grayson will wave you over if you're just kind of like looking around, lost.
I will go and join Grayson. Just like the new shy kid at school had just got invited to sit with the cool kids. He's gonna like rush over with like his books in his hand, and, like sit down and be like, "Thank you."
Grayson slaps the books out of his hand.
Lena, you enter the back room and he's sitting there with his desk. There's a chair set out for you if you wish to take it. Have a seat if you wish.
She will shift the chair out of the way and just stand in front of the desk.
I expected as much. As I've given the others, I offer this gift to you as well. 3 choices: a skill, an item, or a part answer. A skill that will improve your fighting abilities, especially when it comes to brawling. Or an item. Something to keep you lively while you continue to imbibe your liquors. Or lastly, I can give you some sort of an answer to any question within reasonable or getting tongue tied. Within limits, let's say. You may ask if your question is within my limits to give, without burning it. No worries, I'm not trying to trick you out of anything.
If you know me so well, you would know that I don't drink most of what I brew.
Indeed, but you now have a new cup. It still counts.
Go for the skill then.
Very well. It is yours. You have a retrofitted tavern brawler. Do use it well. And the card suddenly appears in the upright position, shatters, and the shards quickly sprint towards you. They impact onto you, but you feel no pain. You feel a bit more invigorated.
She's just looking at her hand where the shards impacted. Interesting. Shall I get the other idiot?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Just turn and leave. Bullet, you're up.
Okay. I'll walk up to the door that Lena came out of, and I will stop and knock on the door.
You knock once, and before you hit your second rap, it opens.
Yes. Very comforting. I'll take a step in.
It closes behind you.
Ah,
You look around the room, and you notice it isn't just Igor in here. There's another individual. There are 2 chairs. The person looks very odd. Like you've seen them somewhere before. They turn, and it's your own face looking back at you, though with an expression you wouldn't normally have. A bit more menacing.
I walk up to the other person, and I will stand very like stiff and do a like one nod towards him, be like, Marius, and Marius will go back and be like, Orion, and I will sit down.
I thought you two could use face to face, if you will.
Yes, well, I do not know why you needed him here. I am all the us you need. Yeah, what actually is going on here?
I am offering the two of you. Well, since you share one body, I'll just call you the one of you.
The
a
collective.
Deal. Collective. That works. I can either give you a skill, an item, or I can attempt to answer a question within limits. For the skill,
Can I...
I have two options with your dual personality. He opens up one hand and it's your card, but lighter, kind of light spreading from it. Something to aid others. One of your acquaintances has something very similar. Someone to keep everyone alive. He opens up the other hand, it's darker and still spinning. Or something to increase your potency in combat. Something to make sure you focus and get your job done. Or for an item, something to simply keep you hard and healthy.
Marius and Orion are going to turn towards each other, almost like without speaking, and deliberate between the two. And Marius, because of the D4 roll, is going to be the one choosing. And he will choose the... I would like to choose the ability.
Which one?
He's gonna, like, take his thumb and his index finger, and, like, while it's still spinning, pluck the dark one out of the air.
As soon as he grabs it, it shatters. The shards split, hitting both of you.
Orion's gonna sit there and be like, I cannot believe you've already broken it.
You now have the Warcaster feat.
Okay, I need to figure out what that is. But thank you. I will.
No problem. It's not different than the normal feat. But yeah. Well,
I'll
very
throw
well
a link
then.
to it in the chat for you. That's what the Warcaster does.
Well then, I think I've had my entertainment with you all. Please enjoy the room. If you have anything else to ask or to do, feel free. Though only one of you can step out amongst the others, just to keep things civil. If you want to have your own private room to chat amongst yourselves, he'll gesture and a door appears. Feel free. There'll be another entrance out to the bar, but again, only one of you can stand out at a time.
If I choose to leave the room, will Orion be back in his little head?
You two will have to sort that out amongst yourselves.
Right. Well, I just got us a job, and you're not going to ruin it for me. So I'm going out there, and you can come out later to play. And Orion will huff off out the door.
Orion comes back to everyone.
guess I'll just raise a drink in his direction before taking a sip.
Orion is going to go to the bar and look at the bartender and be like, what is the odds that you have a nice, like, chamomile tea, something that'll, like, calm the nerves?
She's putting down the third drink in front of Lena. Just a moment, and that shouldn't be a problem. She heads off down the bar, and you see her pull out a kettle that already seems to be boiling as steam is coming out of it, and pours into a very fine cup. A very lovely looking tea, and puts it in front of you. Please, enjoy.
Thank you so much. And he's going to hold the tea up into his mouth and take, like, a big, like, whiff in. And does it smell like...
It smells lovely.
He's gonna let, like, a nice breath out and be like, all right, so, where do we go from here?
Well, seeing as you've been given Igor's blessing, suppose we can be pretty straight with you. Even after saying that, he will turn to Jasnah, just to, again, confirm. Like, it's good to tell him, right?
She'll nod.
Alright.
Sip her wine.
So, Orryn, our next plan of action is to make our way north. We're going to be heading to the Black Barrow to investigate it. Jasnah here is our party expedition leader. She's the one who actually has something to do there. The rest of us, well, I believe Orryn has something to do there, but I am tagging along because I'm bored. Lina's coming along to protect us. And probably because she's bored too.
Right. Well,
And now you've just signed on.
Yes, this is an archaeological expedition. Any findings are generally sold to museums, to people who could research and make use of, and any money made, any treasures found is going to be split between everyone.
that... well, that works well for me, as long as we are, all being honest. There's a circle of trust kind of thing. And he's gonna make, like, a weird, like, nervously, like, making hand gestures of, like, the circle, with his hands and fingers, because that's what I do as a person. He's gonna sit there and be like, there is, I guess, something that should be known as long as we are traveling together. Well, I'm not always Orion.
Just eyebrow raises from Grayson.
Well, okay, so after I lost my medical license, I was going around and I wasn't giving up my research, and I don't know who, but somebody had hired a group of people to kill me, which they almost did, or did, maybe, I don't know. And so, well, they were there, and they had stabbed me, and then I heard a voice in my head say that he was going to take care of me and help me out, and then it all went black, and I woke up like a month later, and I was fine, but there is now, I don't know if it's a split personality, I think, that I live with. His name is Marius Sinclair, and he is rough around the edges. To be short, he's not as nice as me. But yes, that is everything. And he's gonna, like, finger gun really nervously around the room, even at the bartender. Like,
Just kind of just smiling. doesn't say anything.
Jasnah just kind of like raises a brow.
I thought the voice in my head was rough. Grayson physically cringes after saying that.
Oh, do you have one too?
Yep.
You hear the door that you came out of creak open, and you hear Igor's voice. I did not actually expect you to tell them all so soon. I was mainly keeping you two separate just to keep everyone's minds at ease, but if you're going to be so open... And Marius steps out the door.
Oh,
Or-
god damn it.
To everybody else, it just looks like another him. Just grouchier.
Fourth drink.
Yeah.
So where's Philly?
Down.
Is there any way to put alcohol in this tea?
She's already
Poured
put
it.
another cup in front of you.
Thank you. You
To
are so kind. And Marius will walk up and very nonchalantly sit next to Orion, give him a smirk, look at the bartender, and be like, I would like a glass of your... Sorry, give me that. I would like a glass of your finest wine, please. And he will stand up, very nice, with a very warm smile on his face, and be like, hello, my new compatriots! It's so nice to meet you. My name is Marius Sinclair, and my French accent as a D&D player is very bad. I am Orion's better half. We have been happy together for about a year now, and he's gonna like rest his hand on Orion's shoulder, and Orion's gonna like pull his shoulder away.
We're more similar than I thought.
Uh,
Grant, again, physically cringes a bit.
Marius is going to sit down with a glass of wine and be like, all right, let's lay a few ground rules and expectations. I have allowed Orion to go on this little vacation of his. However, my main priority, I have allowed him. And Orion's gonna be like, no, I make the decisions. I'm the one in charge here. And Marius is gonna be like, okay, sweetie, go back to your tea now. But there are some ground rules. My little Orion, he's a fragile creature. I'm sure he has already given you the story about how he was champion of the Little League Boxing Club or whatever. Oh,
The first things he said.
yes, he loves that one. He didn't mention that there was him and a bunch of old priests, because he was the only kid at the orphanage at the time. And Orion's just gonna be like shrinking down, like sipping this tea. But I would like it to be known that my first and only priority is making sure that Orion makes it back okay. That being said, I will heal you all when we are in combat, but know that Orion will not be around in combat, it shall be I. Then it becomes unlikely that Orion will make it out. Once again, my main concern is that Orion makes it out. And then Orion's gonna turn around and be like, that's not fair! These people have hired us to do a job, and we need to do our job. And he's like, shush now, go back to your thing. That being said, I would like very much to see all of you come out of what is it, Black Barrel? Black Barrel? The North countries, they all sound the same. I would like you all to come out alive, but of course, me and Ryan have a symbiotic relationship, and I need to look after him. Therefore, vis-a-vis, look after myself.
Where did you come from? Asking
Well,
Martin.
that's
Marius, whatever his name is, sorry.
that
You
is,
person.
that is
Name.
Prudence is showing.
Shh.
There's a tiefling in the corner.
Marius will look at Jasnah and be like, my new leader, it is a pleasure to meet you. Funny thing is, neither me or Orion actually know where I come from. We just kind of assume that I just happened when he needed me most. and I just came out as a psychological disorder. But I like to think that he's the psychological disorder, but he gets all grumpy when I say that.
Did you just come up with another character that steals the show?
I hope not.
Sorry. Oh, my brain.
Lena is quietly appreciating this man's top energy.
But yes, any questions, I will be listening at all times. I mean, he can block me out for short periods of time, and I can block him out for short periods of time if you want a one-on-one conversation. But generally, anything said during a conversation will be heard by both of us unless otherwise described.
Well, it's glad to have both of you on board. It's going to make things a little more interesting.
Merci, monsieur. And Marius, pending other questions, will just sit back down next to Orryn and be like, see, I can make a good job interview too.
You're both wonderful candidates, seeing as you're the same one.
I did the work. Let it be known, I did the work. He's not a real doctor. I am. Well, technically.
Where?
Yes.
Well, then. After... Does anyone else have anything else they want to do while in the Velvet Room?
Now I actually want some tea.
Probably not at the moment, because they still got a day ahead of them to do stuff.
Fair enough.
But maybe.
Everyone finishes up their drinks and begins to turn and head toward the door.
Oh! One last thing, and Grayson will turn to Margaret. How does, time work here?
Well, to be
is it
perfectly
one-to-one?
honest, it really doesn't work here. You'll return exactly where you left.
If we had to return to a part where we didn't leave, could you do that too? Like, say we would just wanted to skip a night, and so we like came here, hung out for like 30 minutes, and then went back.
You'd have to make a deal with the master of this place, but things like that, he's not too inclined to break reality that much.
Igor did ask us to not abuse this space.
He welcomed you to come whenever, but again, he wishes to be more of an observer and to make things interesting, not to break reality too much.
That is fair, I suppose.
Oh, he also wished to give you all a bit of a message. Apparently, somebody is looking for you in the city. They wish to have a meeting. He says it might be interesting if you all attended.
Who's looking for them?
That was simply the message I was instructed to give.
Well,
Take care.
guess we better start searching. And thank you. You as well, Margaret.
Always a pleasure, everyone.
Grayson will make his way for the door.
Unless anyone else has anything to say,
Nope.
everyone begins going through the doors. And you all reappear on the street in the exact same positions you were in before the door appeared.
And no more drunk than we were at that point, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Important point.
Yeah, you're now sober again.
What a wonderful place. Well, did we have anything else on our agenda for the day? Or shall we start searching for this mysterious person who wishes to have a meeting for us?
How would we even go about doing that?
They'll
I
find
have
us.
absolutely no idea.
Oh, they'll find us. Meetings tend to arrive.
Especially when it has to do with Igor. Fair point.
Especially in the city.
Orryn is gonna send Moray to head towards the poor part of the city and try and find his daughter.
Okay. Cool. Moray takes off. So your instructions to Moray is to search for your daughter, and then return?
Yeah.
How long should Moray search?
Search until until she gets tired of searching, basically. Like, as long as she's comfortable searching.
Okay.
And Tressums do have keen smell, and Moray has met Orryn's daughter
Makes
multiple
sense.
times, so
Oh yeah. So yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check for your little kitty.
okay, that is an 18.
Okay. For the rest of the day, well, at least for now, Murray heads off
Yep.
and goes to that district. I'll let you know if they find anything. In the meantime, you are all standing around.
Oh, cool, we're gonna get an Amavasya soon.
Ah. Cool. So, what are y'all up to?
Well, shall we go sit down at the tavern? Wait for this meeting to find us? Or perhaps stroll about this wonderful town and go sightseeing? I don't think that would be a popular option. All right.
Very talkative group.
Orryn is buried in his scrolls again now that we're outside the Velvet Room.
Jasnah, what are your thoughts?
If we're waiting for someone to find us, perhaps we should find somewhere comfortable to wait, even if we head back where we were. Make them work for it.
Is back.
Though I believed we'd discussed maybe finding a different tavern
Yes.
to avoid a certain someone.
Yes.
I wouldn't know where to go for that.
Just a
He's not really all that bad, is he?
Yes, he is.
also just a thought. If somebody's looking for you, maybe the first place to look is the place that you have already been staying.
That was my thought process as well.
Luna, you would know since you've been to that tavern a number of times. Rex doesn't actually spend too much time in the city. He's normally off on his expeditions for things. He normally only stays for a week or two before he heads back off. And he's been in town for a while.
We just happened to catch him while he's there.
I don't trust it.
So, there's some odds he might still be there. He might not be.
Come on now, we can't go hiding from this meeting. Ego won't appreciate that.
To be fair, if it is meeting in this town, chances are you don't want to have it in a band of mercenaries.
Mhm. Unless it's a mercenary that needs to speak with us.
Then I'll identify them.
Fair enough.
So what's the plan?
I vote we head back to the tavern because that's where we are staying.
That's where what?
Because that's where we're staying and where it is known we are staying, if anybody happens to know. Also, that's where Moray will know to find us.
Well, Moray
In
should
the
be
past,
able to
has-
find.
Moira can find me, no problem.
Yeah.
In the
And if
past,
she's
has
ever-
Igor ever... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, and if she's ever gone too long,
Just-
he can just snap twice and she's back. So
No, true.
Okay, so in the past, has Igor ever sent you guys to dangerous situations before?
No, we tend to do that ourselves.
Yeah, it's kind of why he chose us as his entertainment.
Fair enough. I was just wondering if he was like, oh, it would be really entertaining if, they met with this guy and he was a devil lord. That might be entertaining, but not the healthiest.
Well, then on the flip side, if he got us killed, then no more entertainment for him, so...
Very true. Unless this is like a mid-season cliffhanger where one of us has to die, and it's probably not the new guy. He's gonna like side look at Amavasya. It's always the one you least expect.
so we're headed back, I believe.
To the tavern.
Tavern.
All right. You guys head back to the Blink Dog's mug.
Yep.
About 20 minutes later, you're standing out front, and you do, in fact, see a dog sitting out front. It sees the lot of you, and its tail starts wagging. Lena, you recognize this dog. This dog is Blue. He lives here. He's the namesake of the bar.
As a player, I need you to clarify: is this dog a sign? This is like not the real dog that Mo was talking to.
No, this is not the sign that was above the door. This is an actual dog.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to actually do that. But yeah,
As
He
they're
quickly
walking
runs
up,
up to
Grayson will give
you.
him a pat.
yeah. He accepts all the pats and kind of jumps up on Lena a little bit, expecting pats. Zach, you there?
Yes.
Do you give dog pats?
Yes, I said so.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Everyone
I meant
gives
cut
dog
out.
pats.
Of course. And after all the pats are given, he blinks out of existence and reappears next to the door and heads in.
What a good pup.
A lot of you enter. It's a lot quieter now. Not too many people are in. Most are either out or just not hanging in the tavern all day. You do spot, as you guys are walking in, you do see Sybil trying to flag you all down once you've been in for a moment or two.
All right.
Wander over there. Yeah, Sid.
Martin was telling me about you lots and the goblins you faced on the way here.
Yeah. I think my brother just went out to do something about that.
Oh. Well, the contract's open, so if you lot want it as well, thought I might offer it to you since a few of you seem pretty inclined to possibly deal with them. 500 gold for the den, plus an extra gold per ear. Left ears only.
We're
Plus
headed
whatever you find.
northbound, not south.
What time of day was it again? Like
At this
early
point, it's about
afternoon-ish?
3:30 or so.
Okay.
I mean, Orryn has a bunch of new spells he wants to learn and no money to learn them with, so he's all for this.
That sends us down in the opposite direction, though.
It does take us away from our goal, and it'd be another couple, because it was about like at least a day since
was
the
down
goblin
over
fight,
here.
right?
That
Yeah.
It was like it took us a day, almost an entire day, to get from the goblin fight to Scenaria City, including fight with the bullets. Right.
Yeah,
So,
but still,
Mhm.
well, guards aren't too useful, and the army is about as useful as them, so we pick up what contracts we can, so thought I'd float it by you. Ding.
sorry.
At least before this, and she puts down what looks to be a letter. Came in about an hour after you all left. Is addressed specifically to her, nodding to Jasnah.
Hmm. Oh, she'll
That's curious.
take.
Don't know what it's about. Some kid ran in here with it. Said it was for a band of mercenaries, apparently. Thought it was for us, but seeing your name on it, assuming you'd come back, I left it for you.
Oh. I'll take it. Take the message.
I hope it's not from the Dimaru. Or, well, I hope it's nothing bad from them.
You open it up, and it's addressed to your like full given name, titles and all.
That just kind of gives her like an uh-oh kind of thing.
Including Lena.
Oh, it was just addressed to Jasnah with her full titles.
Oh, I thought she
Not
said
Lena.
the group.
Nope. Just Jasnah. And it tells her, "Hello, Miss Jasnah. I'd like to introduce myself in person. If you wouldn't mind coming to the Blue Boar whenever you have an opportunity. I would like to offer a business proposition to you and your compatriots. Please, come at your earliest convenience. Jarl."
Jarl.
The
Is
name
Jarl...
sound familiar at all?
Talina? Probably. Jarl is the part owner, part employee of the Blue Boar Tavern slash brothel. He is fairly well known. And also well known that anyone in that industry works for the Sakage.
You got yourself an invitation by a pit boss.
I can hardly fathom why. And how he would know who I am.
Well, there's one way to find out.
A lot there is.
I can't imagine my father getting mixed up in people like that.
No one can imagine that anyone can be mixed up in people like that. You don't do it on purpose.
What do you know about him?
What do I know about him? Well, then,
You know, he's fairly popular to the clientele, both men and women. And from what you've heard, he's a fairly decent individual for someone in his position. Aside from that, not too much.
he's a charismatic little shit.
Yeah, basically.
Take everything he says at half value at most.
Don't you just love dealing with those types?
He's in bed with his business and only his business.
I suppose it couldn't hurt to find out what he wants.
Probably safer than ignoring him.
Now, we're taking this meeting. We don't have a choice anymore.
Why not?
Because he knows her name, and if he knows her name, he knows everything about her, and will. Well, everyone she knows and loves is currently in danger.
Oh, excellent.
Congratulations, welcome to working with criminals.
Well, I technically am also a criminal, working without a medical license. Marius audibly sighed in my own head.
Again, you just get a raised eyebrow from Grayson, like, Listen, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to voice it out loud.
Marius agrees with you.
There are plenty of people who think archaeologists are criminals. So,
It's not grave robbing if it's investigation.
And necromancy isn't bad.
Another eyebrow from Grayson.
Sybil even looked over with an eyebrow raise.
Just
Yes.
throwing that one out there.
Yes, it is.
Seeing how the room felt about that. Good to know. Moving forward.
Who's the new guy?
Dr. Orion Blackheart, at your service.
All right. I think I heard about you from one of the other guys.
You're the one who lost his medical license.
Well, I'm still a doctor, technically. Moved to the city that has no laws when you don't have a medical license. To keep practicing. I am a great doctor, I promise. I can heal a lot of people.
I mean, we technically do have laws. It's just most people are assholes and don't follow them.
Yeah, it's just, colloquial term.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. If you ever need of a doctor, let me know. I can set up my tent outside for all your men and women. And
Lena is just slowly shaking her head.
That's with the 10-foot pole.
Did she just ask me what's with the 10-foot pole?
No, I said that. Like,
Oh.
she wouldn't let you touch her with a 10-foot pole.
What about a movable rock? He doesn't say that.
Well, Jasnah, it's your call. They are asking to meet with you.
well, I have a feeling it may hurt worse not to.
think that's the wise decision.
Does it say in the letter like when, where?
Yes, he did say that at the Blue Boar when
Yeah,
at
the
your
blue
earliest
boar.
convenience.
Oh yeah.
Grayson and Lena would both know where this place is. It's on the east side, so the nice district where you guys are currently in.
Mhm.
And it has quite the reputation as probably having the best wine selection in the city. Very fine dining,
Gasp.
and quite a lot of interesting tastes can be sampled there.
Hmm.
It's a brothel as well.
You said blue boar, right?
Yeah, Blue Boar.
All right, cool. Making sure I didn't mishear. Just putting it.
No worries.
Blue boar. Right. Oh, that's right. The blue boar. Last time Platt and I had to come to the city, that's where we stayed. It's not a bad place. Yeah, well, when you take the rest of the city into consideration.
I should go see her again. Lena muses.
Very well. As a lot of you head out, Lena taking points with a bit of extra spring in her step.
No.
Okay. It's worth a shot.
With an extra stumble in her step.
There we go. And you all head off. It's not too far from the Citadel Market. But a half hour later, you stand before a three-storied building. It has geometric patterns in the upper floor's glass, stained and quite expensive looking. Down on, but you all enter on the Gesundheit on the first floor, and immediately upon entering, a number of hostesses approach you all individually. Welcome, our lords and ladies. Please have a seat. Can we get you something to drink?
I'll have some tea and a glass of wine, depending on how this night goes.
And Jasnah will have the letter. Be like, I have an invitation to speak with what's his name, Jarl?
Ah, you have an appointment with Jarl. You have excellent taste. Please follow me. As one of them seems to be taking the lead, and she appears to be a red-headed half-elf, and starts leading you towards the back of the building, like through toward the back. Is it
I am
just
Amavasya.
you, or do you have a group reservation?
It's not a reservation. I have an invitation.
Raises a bit of an eyebrow. Also, hi, Amavasya.
Welcome.
Just to catch you up, Lena and Orryn are now both.
Not sure they're quite here
guard-
yet.
Oh,
Apollo.
Oh no, I was just here. Do I have to whisper louder?
Oh, there you go.
well,
Here you
here, I'll
are.
turn your personal volume up.
Oh no, you're already 200% from me.
I'm so sorry. I can't get my voice to go any louder.
It's
Nah, you're
okay.
good,
Don't
you're good.
worry about it. Just happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, Lena and Black Knight have both now have cards with Varys. Black Knight Orion has the second person in his head, and everyone has now seen that individual while in the Velvet Room, but normally they just share one head. And everyone has been invited to the Blue Boar, the classiest brothel in the city. And we're invited by the man who runs and is part of the staff at it. You are now caught up.
Okay. I forgot to change my Discord name.
All good. But the courtesan continues to show you to the back where you all see a door after she's taken you back through a back hallway where two very large and very muscular looking half-orcs stand cross-armed on either side. Each of them have a lightning bolt tattoo on their face, one over their left eye, the other over the right. They appear to be twins. Jarl is just inside. You'll have to leave any weapons you might have with Lefty and Bernard here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have yourself
Wait,
a good
I
stand?
have a question.
Yes.
Which one's Lefty and which one is Bernard? Because it's kind of confusing.
She kind of strikes a pose, finger on her lips, looks like she's thinking, looking upward. I'm pretty sure the last individual to ask that doesn't have any teeth anymore. But you can feel
Okay,
free to
I've,
ask them. And she kind of
How
hands it
about-
off.
I'll do this. I'll just turn back to my party and be like, if you're Lefty and you know it, clap your hands. Ah, he did it. He did it. I got you. Okay, let's go.
The two half-orcs are staring down at you.
The invitation was just for Jasnah, right? But
It had her name, but it invited everybody.
okay, because like, if it was just for her and they were letting everyone in, she wasn't gonna say anything. Otherwise, but yeah. So,
They're standing there waiting for you. Like there's a table off to the left-hand side, and one of them gestures towards it.
And Jasnah will place down 2 whips and a rapier.
Orryn will set down a dagger.
Grayson sets down. So just all our weapons, I assume.
All you heard was to leave your weapons with these two individuals.
Grayson sets down 3 daggers, a light crossbow, and a staff.
Orion will put down his scythe, his war pick, a bone saw, some scalpels, other surgical equipment. They're for work.
You don't hear any words come from them.
Note, Grayson's daggers, one comes from, like, sheath at his hip. One comes from, like, his boot, and another comes from, like, tucked into his pants.
Has anybody here seen Sinbad, the animated movie, by chance?
Heck yeah.
I have, actually. Yeah.
I'm just imagining Orryn is that guy with all the weapons as they go into the party. Or sorry, not Orryn, Orion.
Orion, yeah.
Orryn and
wait.
Orion. This is going to be great.
Wait, who am I? What?
You're Orion.
No. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
So has everybody put their weapons on the table?
Orryn has put his weapon on the table and will probably forget it on the way out.
Alright. Yeah, we'll hesitantly place my stuff down.
They don't seem...
Lena places her quarterstaff down and then takes her top off.
Orion will sit there and be like, "Oh dear."
She wearing anything
avert-
underneath?
Avert his
She has her
gaze.
chest wrapped.
Okay, just
But
check
she's
it.
really not interested in taking out all of the poisons, all of the knives, and all of the
All of the
other-
everything.
everything. So she just unloops the belt that holds her robe closed and just takes it off.
Does she clank a lot?
You hear a lot of glass go clink, 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 clink.
You don't really see any reactions from the two bashers, and
Oh, they've
Like,
seen
you
her
would
naked hair
know-
before. They know what she looks like.
oh yeah. Also, you would recognize them as their regular, like, being from the city. People who are basically the enforcers of the Sakage are called bashers, and these two are fairly well known and both respected and feared. But with that, the one on the left opens the door and gestures for you all to enter.
Jasnah will go first.
Wait, we're in the Sakage lair,
We're in a brothel.
Mhm.
and there just happens to be the Sakage peeps here.
One of the Sakage members owns this.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And he wanted to meet with us, and when we saw Igor earlier, he said that someone was trying to get a meeting with us in the city.
Get you, I like it.
So
I
there's
failed my
there's
catch-up.
some outside reason for us to be at this meeting besides just hey, someone wanted to meet with us.
Okay, gotcha.
A lot of you enter in, and it's a fairly decent-sized room. There's a desk along the back, exactly opposite the door, where a man is sitting there scrolling something into some notebooks. There's a few chairs spread around the room, as well as a four-poster bed off to the right. The man looks up, seeing you all. He seems to be fairly well dressed. His hair is done up in numerous different micro braids. He wears a purple flowing coat and has a well-kept goatee. Well, why don't you just see the individual? He gets up and smiles at you all. Oh,
Oh, there, babe.
welcome, welcome. You must be Jasnah and the rest of your group. Grayson, good to see you back in the city. Orryn, I
Wish I could
heard
say the
it's
same for
been
being here.
many years since you've been here. Interesting that you're back. Lena, good to see you're at least mostly closed this time.
That was one time, and you know why.
Indeed I do. She is currently working tonight.
Perfect.
Orryn, you're taking up some of the space on the black market for your work, good sir. But that's not my real category in the Sakage, so it's not really my problem. Plus, you patched up a few of my
Did you mean
bashers.
Orion in that?
Yes, all right. God damn it, this is already
Oh.
started.
It's only the beginning.
But yes, you patched up a few of my bashers 2 weeks ago, so I am appreciative. As for you, he's looks like he's trying to remember something, snapping. Amavasya, correct? You haven't been here on the mainland for, well, I guess our mainland, for too long now, though. You only just returned.
Is gonna, like, super squint at the dude.
Looking him over, he actually, like, he kind of looks like he has the physique and the build of somebody from your homeland of Ladesh. Though he doesn't speak with any accent or anything.
Ah, okay. Let's see if I can get into my voice.
Don't
y-
shoot yourself.
I'm still gonna try. It's D&D, yo. Yes, I haven't been here in quite a long while. Tell me, your garb, are you from, Ladesh?
He kind of takes on a wistful look. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm what you call, well, one of the slave-born, back when there was still slavery in Scenaria. Most of us are who come from the Warrens. But we're all free now, so we all do what we please. Actually, Lefty and Bernard were some of them as well. But now we're all here. I have no idea where my parents are or who they were. So, maybe they were from Ladesh, maybe they were from Calador. No idea. He's just smiling.
We'll give a polite head nod.
Anyways, I am glad you all came here so quickly. I'm kind of surprised. Normally when I send out such a... Well, when most of the others send out such letters, most people are try to hide or run. I'm quite impressed.
I like to think we're a bit smarter than that.
And it shows.
To be fair, Adventure is my middle name.
That's...
Is that true?
He goes and looks in a book. No, that does not appear to be true.
So
Well,
did
just
you
kinda
bring
like,
us
"Oh, well."
here? So did you bring us here just to show off your information gathering skills, or was there a purpose?
No, I just like to show off a little bit. It's part of my charm. At least
Wait.
I think it is.
Out of character, was that him saying that he did just bring us here to show off?
No, that was him saying partly to show off.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, really?
Every good businessman has to.
Yes, and especially in my line of work, of course. I mean, I am one of the most popular attractions here. But that's not my main line of work. As anyone who with 2 brain cells would know, a courtesan's true job is to spy. I am one of the members of the spying community here. So information
The first
gathering
rule
is
of being a
key.
good spy is to never admit that you're a spy.
Well, when it's common knowledge. But it doesn't really matter. At least to you all. It's well known where my allegiances lie. As I previously stated, I am a member of the Sakage. Nothing too high up, though. I just manage this one shop. Also take care of some side jobs that my mistress doesn't want to get involved with personally. Though I did hear recently that you lot actually stirred up quite a hornet's nest recently.
Have we now?
Indeed. I'm not sure which member. There are many different sects within the Sakage, but apparently you screwed over somebody's schemes with Pavel's Grove, and then promptly murdered a number of their men.
I haven't a clue of what you're talking about. We merely helped Pavel's Grove finish off their deal and took out some bandits that were harassing us.
He chuckles and just kind of waves it away. Oh, don't worry. I'm not with that sect, at least. I don't even know the exact individual that you wronged, and that is quite odd to me. He sits back down and takes on a more serious tone. In fact, there's a bit of a, let's call it a power struggle within the Sakage right now. Not quite sure who within the organization can really be trusted. So, I've decided to look for some outside help. I know you all aren't exactly... well, maybe Amavasya, but the rest of you aren't really criminals per se. Not exactly, not fully law-abiding citizens, but
Again, eyebrow raised from Grayson.
Not to me. I didn't say it this time. I thought it.
Suddenly just like starts really thinking back, like, am I a criminal?
darling, you have a poisoner's kit on you.
No,
Had to
that's me.
silence some of the guards at the front. Oh, I already know about you, obviously. You're well known. But when they entered the city, some of the guards were a bit chatty, so I paid them off to keep their mouths shut.
Sorry.
Drops
So
the
you're-
bowl of cereal he happened to be eating.
So you're very welcome for that. But the main reason I asked you all here is I have an interest in your future expedition. He gestures to Jasnah.
I'm the only one.
So you're heading to Black Barrow, is it? With a certain old map that a certain individual handed to you?
That was
Perhaps.
a lot of nuance.
And
Well, where do you think they got it from?
I didn't
Not bad.
ask.
And what do you care about it?
Smart girl. Well, it was part of my collection, in fact, until it was stolen. Didn't take too long to figure out where it had gone, but since I had met your father in the past, I liked him, so I didn't really think anything of it until I heard you had left to continue to seek out and actually go to the Barrow. That kind of piqued my interest.
Well, if you had this map, then why didn't you send other people? If you're so interested.
You know
Clearly,
how
you
hard
have
it
the
is-
means.
Well, I'm not sure if you would know this, but criminals are actually a very suspicious lot, or not suspicious, superstitious lots, and well, the supposed curses and everything about the Barrow kind of doesn't really lead them to want to venture out.
No,
Plus,
but you
it's
could
kind of
hire
hard.
people, or
Again,
I
also,
think he is trying to hire people.
and somebody hit the bullseye on the head. I am looking to. Well, since you're already going, it wouldn't so much be hiring, but I'd like to invest in your group. Outfit you all with enough materials and whatnot. Maybe get some passes so you can get into Calador without problems, especially with the locals. Maybe even hire a guide to the Barrow. How does that sound?
And in exchange,
Well, he kind of leans back and strokes on his beard. Well, in fact, I'm more just curious what is actually there, if all the ghost stories are what they seem. But what I need currently, I'd forego any valuables or whatever you find at the barrow. I need assistance in the current struggles within the Sakage. I'm in the dark on a few things, and I don't like being in the dark. And especially my mistress does not like being in the dark. So simply, I'd need you to do a few errands. I promise you, I won't have you do anything specifically illegal. If that'll set your moral hearts at ease. Just do a few jobs against some bad people, even worse people than I. I know I'm not the greatest individual, but I have some pull and can give you access to other things in the city that you may need and get you what you need for your expedition.
What do you want us to do?
can I make
Personally,
an insight check?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna luck that. There we go. That's better. Non-natural 20.
Can I do a medicine check on this guy? I want to see if he has any like ailments or other weaknesses going into his like anxiety.
Are you trying to do a psychiatrist diagnostic on this person?
No, like I'm actually trying to see if like he's showing any signs of like trying to hide older age, maybe like he has some weird spots on his face. I don't know, stuff like
Okay,
that.
Orryn, this is a you've been pretty insightful in the past. This is a very hard individual to read. You do not see a single crack in his smile. No darting in his eyes. Sure, give me a medicine check also.
23.
You do notice signs around the neck, and you can see with his more open shirt, you can see a few past scars on his chest. With a 23, yeah, you can tell that they're probably from a very young age. That he was definitely beaten before. As
Nothing.
for,
Oh, sorry.
you can guess he's maybe 21. So he's quite young.
Yeah, well, younger than I thought he was gonna be. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's
And Jasnah had asked what he wants us to do.
Well, to start off, there's been an unknown band working on the roads to the north. They've been attacking, well, simply every caravan that comes through for the northern settlements. Normally, it'd be the guard's job, but of course they're lazy and useless. and under everybody's thumb. But for this case, we are not sure whose. More importantly, at least to me and my superiors, they seem to be getting every single shipment of illicit goods being sent our way, burning everything except for these and hiding them off somewhere. Now, I can't arise suspicion about myself unless if I sent any of my own individuals. But if an unknown band of heroic mercenaries went and destroyed this bandit gang and perhaps came back with some information from them that could be useful, they might even find a purse of 750 gold on their way back, plus whatever other loot they find on them.
And do you have any idea where we might find these bandits?
I might have an idea. And he reaches down from the desk and pulls out a map. The number of roads heading north. Little X's. It might be prudent to know that they've been hitting every caravan in this area, and he circles with his finger where a number of the X's are. It appears like from reading the map, it looks to be about 2.5 days north. What's even worse, at least probably for your moral perspective, is there have been no individuals who have, well, returned alive. We only know about these attacks when scouts went out and found the wreckage of the caravans and the mutilated bodies.
You sure know how to convince us.
There's just a single ear twitch from Mama.
Mutilated how? Not just killed?
Arms, legs, and heads are all detached, and a number of the limbs apparently had signs that something was gnawing or eating at them. And that turns my stomach.
If I may ask, do any of the members of the Sakara?
Sakage.
Sorry. Do any of the members of the Sakage outside of your sect that you know of delve into things such as lycanthropy or vampirism?
We're a pretty diverse and unique group. We have a number of different people. I even have a couple of succubi working at this very tavern.
Okay, out of character, this guy's a G.
Do you happen to know a Delilah?
Out of character, what?
Are you talking to me?
No, the Amavasya.
Is that the name of the
Succubi, yeah.
Succubi Shima?
Oh, right. I completely blanked. It's been a while. I've heard of a Delilah. Is she a succubus that you have met?
Yes, she's excellent at chess.
Some realization. Huh. She had mentioned, well, I guess they had mentioned that they had met some interesting individuals. One of succubi, they prefer to change between succubus and incubus quite frequently. Delilah is just one of the names that they use. They have a long list. I always forget which one it is at the current moment. But they like to head off and do their own thing. They're fairly harmless, though.
We'll like slow turn to the group with a smug smile.
Yes.
Orion gives him a
This
big thumbs up.
Those.
Jasnah gives her a look that says this changes nothing.
Yeah. Grayson is also very unhappy at just the generally talking of succubi.
And you feel like there's an ethereal ear pull at your ear. You get the feeling that you're in a building in a place that you should not be.
Yep.
According to someone.
Who?
The voice in his head.
Yes, he has voices too.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Grayson. Okay, sorry. I didn't. Just must have missed that part of the.
Not Orryn.
Yeah.
Or
Orion.
Orion.
Grayson's voice is way more naggy though, or nagging though.
He looks over at the group. So, do we have a deal for the start of this partnership? You'll be doing a good service clearing out bandits who have been murdering people on the roads, keeping people safe, gaining coin for your expedition.
I don't like it. I don't like getting mixed up in the Chicago, but especially the inner business. But
You're not getting mixed up. You're simply clearing out bandits for the city. It's all off books.
Well, Orion is going to chime in and be like, well, some of these people have been my patients, and they're not all bad people. They're just in bad situations sometimes.
yes.
Exactly. I mean, look at me. I was born into a children's guild. But it's basically an introductory thieves guild. Since, well, that's what you do when you're a kid. At least here.
Man, they had those. Shoot.
Oh, my guild is actually the guild is actually still going strong. We were the Black Dragon, so if you're ever in the off in the Warrens, do be careful of our territory. Ah, those were shitty days.
Nina's leaving this decision up to Jasnah. It's her invitation.
Yeah, Grayson is
Directly
also.
affects her.
Orryn seems like he doesn't mind the thought, but isn't gonna be the one to try and
Advocate.
speak for the group. Yeah.
We're heading north anyway. That if there's chances we could run into them, we could use the money for supplies.
We could.
Once
Did it-
we're in the Black Barrow, don't know how long we will be there. The better off. The more we're prepared, the better we'll be.
Did it sound like we'd have to go up, defeat them, and then head back to the city?
By the way, he was implying of bringing back information
Yes.
and
Right,
getting
yeah.
paid on the way
Okay.
back.
So it'll be about an extra 5 days tour trip. So we'll have to go out and come back.
Or we go out and then just on the way back we stop and
Given your information gathering, do you have people up north that we could meet with and hand over whatever information there is?
I have people, but again, this is a very closed loop of inquiry onto this. Very few individuals know of what I speak. I even had this room specially enchanted. No sound can leave it, no sound can enter it, and there is no scrying whatsoever allowed in it. You are the only individuals who know of my plans, currently, other than my direct superiors. Well, superior, there's only one.
well, if you give me some time, I might be able to put some expediency on message delivery. Since you give me some time to practice at it, and I can use a cleric spell named Sending to get information from here to there.
That would be quite useful. But the sooner this is done, the better for all parties involved.
Yes, but a sending won't send money from here to there.
That too. Plus, I think another one of you would be in your best interests to assist us. With our information network, we can definitely help in finding lost individuals, and his eyes shift over to Orryn. Especially those who have disappeared off the streets without a trace. And he puts his hands up quickly. Oh my god, that sounds like I was trying to blackmail you. Oh god, no. Somebody else in the city has definitely stolen your daughter. I have the resources to potentially try and find out, but it has been pretty low on my priority list.
Orryn's kind of just gone stiff. Like, he was not expecting that, and is trying not to react too viscerally right now.
Con save. Or that'd be a wisdom save.
Oh, fuck. Nat 1.
You still got luck. Or if you play it for a theatrical. Yeah,
I'll redo now. Nope.
There's a lot of background noise coming through.
yeah, Orryn. Or not Orryn, damn it! Orion! It's gonna keep
Yes.
happening.
There is you're a wind tunnel right now.
You can call me Black Knight.
Black Knight, there's a lot of noise
if,
coming.
if that helps.
Black Knight, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
a lot of background noise coming from you right now.
Sorry, it might have been because I was in the middle of a fan.
Yes.
Yeah, and now it's gone.
I'm gonna just turn that off. All right. But yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. That was just confirming that. But yeah, Orryn, it sounds like you're not doing too well.
It's very visible to everyone that Orryn is not handling the news of that very well. He hasn't really said anything yet, but he's kind of just
In shock.
yeah.
Is Orryn wearing a belt?
Belt.
It's a weird question.
Um,
Very.
No, he's not. He's he has scholar's robes on.
Okay. That. Well, I was just gonna like put my immovable rod through your belt and activate it so you couldn't like attack the guy if that was going through your heads, but now I don't know.
He's a mage. He doesn't need to move.
You know, I'm trying my best.
That was an out-of-character joke.
Amavasya is going to look between Orryn and, oh shit, what's his name? Jarl?
Jarl.
Jarl, okay. Is going to look between the two of them and just kind of loudly sigh. Well, if you put it like that, I can't exactly be against it. And we'll just kind of like rustle their own hair, like frustrated.
Well, two things. One, maybe not strike low blows so quickly. You don't sound like you're threatening them. And two, 950, not 7.
You're quite the bargainer.
We're clearing trash. I don't leave for 750.
Give me a persuasion check.
Mercenary life.
Jasnah will help.
What's Jasnah doing to help?
She's less persuasive and more like kind of intimidating, but it's more like if you want this to work, if you want this to happen, especially because he wants us to go to the Black Barrow for a reason of his, then he needs to cooperate with us and not threaten one of us with their daughter.
He specifically said he is not threatening.
Don't like we gonna believe that. He's
You can totally incite him.
In all fairness,
well, like straight up, they're
Orion...
like she's not going to incite because like she straight up doesn't believe him about that.
Okay, totally fair. But yeah, you can roll with advantage then.
Just
Pretty
that
good.
angry dragon glare.
That's better by 2. 22.
What the hell? It's gold. Honestly, don't really care that much about it, personally. Does not buy you happiness. Trust me on that.
I'd beg to differ, but...
Yeah, Lena holds her hands to that.
We also know who is pulling at your strings, Grayson. How's the shop?
Again, that thing about low blows and trying not to sound like they're threats.
I am very sorry. Just, that's my mistress coming out of me. She's,
crazy?
Yes. That also sounds pretty weird. Did not intend it like that at all. She's just a very scary individual if you get her mad. And being her apprentice, I have gotten her mad way too often.
So if we agree to this, says Orryn, looking like he hasn't really heard a word since then.
Lena just leans
Finding
over
her-
and places a wineskin in his lap.
Finding her will rise dramatically on your list of priorities. Immediately, not when we come back.
Well, that's the only way to do anything. If I were to wait and you'd return, it would be pointless to try and look afterwards.
That it would.
And normally I would have come to you with the information as more of a bargaining chip and giving it to you for free to simply show goodwill. But again, with the internal power struggle, I kind of need my ears on other places. So for now, they're off doing that. But if you agree, I can take them from that and put them on your daughter's case.
Nina's going to nudge Jasnah and nod.
And Jasnah will agree. She'll nod.
He'll put out a hand. Do we have an accord then?
And
Yes.
she'll take his hand. It's one of the, firmly.
Yeah, he'll give you a firm handshake back. Ah, that is a huge weight off my chest. I've been dreading this meeting all day. I was worried everything would go terribly wrong, but I'm glad we are all together. And he was very serious before, but now he's a lot more relaxed.
Jasnah is still very serious.
Don't have much faith in us, do you?
No, I have had
Well, the feeling
very
is mutual.
mixed interactions with such individuals. I have had some people try and pull knives or magic on me in the past, so I was quite worried.
Again, said that we're smarter than that.
Do you have more information on the bandits, or should we head out now?
Again, no one really returned from any encounter with them, so I have no idea. But
Inspiring.
do take one of their do take a head or two if you come back. They may have bounties on them, and well, Sybil pays those out. I'm sure you've met her. She's quite the individual. Scares the knickers off me.
She wasn't too pleased the last time I brought in 2 heads.
What kind of heads did you bring?
I think they were called death
Or-
dogs?
Oh no, she has very protective of just about every kind of dog. Please tell me none of you were mean to Blue. And he starts to go white in fear.
Of course not.
Having seen that apparently there's going to be no more information about the bandits or his daughter, Orryn walks out of the room.
You can have a free stay in any of the rooms above for the night.
I know exactly which room I'm staying in. I think we have
Yes.
a night of planning before us. If
Yes,
you'll
yeah.
excuse us all, and Lena will start to press
Indeed we
people
do.
out of the room.
Grayson will willingly get up and walk himself out.
Wait, but what's
Orion.
a blue? Just like calling from
Oh, yeah.
behind.
You missed that as well. When the party had returned to the Blink Dog's mug, a dog ran up and everyone started petting him. And then he suddenly blinked back to the tavern and head inside. It is the owner's dog, which is a Blink dog named Blue. He's a good boy.
I miss the dog. I hate being sick.
And it's Skadood, which is important.
Sybil has a blink dog noted.
Orion will stay until at least people are out of earshot, and he will go to Mr. Jarl, take like a step or two closer, and just be like, when I was treating one of your men a few weeks ago, I stitched him up, and he's gonna leave a pretty nasty scar.
Yes, I
It-
saw.
If he ever wanted to get rid of any of his scars, there are treatments that are available in case he wants to move on from that section of his life.
Unfortunately, some of us in the trade don't exactly have the capital for such expenses.
Most of Orion's work would have been pro bono for people who were poor. Just because Orion's that kind of person. But either way, he's going to sit there and be like, well, there is a cleric I know. He is a good guy, and he, too, does not demand money, just whatever donations are available for his work. And I'll give him the address of another cleric I know and hold that.
Well, I will let him know to seek you out.
He also doesn't report to authorities if that is an issue.
No worries. And he pulls out a purse and slides it towards you. I know you didn't take payment from him, but take payment from me as a sign of gratitude. I care for my man greatly, and I am very happy that he is still alive. So thank you.
I will go ahead and take the purse, because the Jarl does not seem like he is struggling financially. So I would feel okay with that. So yeah, I'll take the money.
No problem. And do let everyone know that both my other personal services and those of my establishment are at their disposal. Free for one night. And gives him a bit of a wink after he gives him a once over.
At that point, Marius takes over and he says, "Well, I'm sure you will know where to find us." And we'll turn around and... What was that?
He says, "You may come to me." And then he looks from him to the four-poster bed on the side of the room and back to him. An eyebrow raised.
Marius is going to put the coin back on the counter and be like, "I'll come back for it later."
Very well. And he sits back down and appears to go back to work. One of his jobs. Everybody else has headed back out to the bar area, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yes.
Seems like it.
Alright, are you all just congregating at a table in the first floor, or are you separating?
We should find a out-of-the-way place where we could converse.
Oh, I wouldn't mind simply returning to the Mercenary Guild.
I will take them directly to one, knowing my way around here just a little bit too well.
To like a quiet place in here, or
Anywhere. Well, at this point, given like the way this guy was showing off, he's pretty sure that there's nowhere, really,
They can go to be.
entirely like.
Oh no, fuck that concept if you think you were going to be entirely alone and unheard.
Except. And Grayson will kind of gesture to just the nearest doorway.
Well, we don't want to do that.
Not somewhere we can be seen, of course.
We don't want to vanish off the face of the plane and then appear again.
Not here.
They're currently watching us. They're going to keep watching us until we finish this job.
well, what if we went into a room, asked for privacy, and then while in the room we did the, and then came back.
I'm saying we return to the Mercenaries Guild, get a room in there, and do it from the inside
No,
where nobody can
not leaving
see.
tonight.
You can always return.
The Orion will pipe in and he'll be like, Marius said that we're also not leaving tonight. And he's gonna get a little red in the face.
Well, my better half would rather I do not stay in such a place, but there's no reason we all have to stick together, so we can simply reconvene in the morning.
We fast forward to next morning.
Is that what everyone, is everyone split?
Suppose.
Orryn will ask if anyone has any gold he could borrow to be paid whenever this guy pays us back, because he suddenly finds that he would like to know some of these spells faster than he had originally anticipated.
Of course.
Come
What would you need?
Let's see. 250 would be ideal, but 100 or 150 would help a lot.
Well, here's the 100 gold that the big guy gave me. And I am being
I'll chip in
told
the other 50.
by my other half that we are getting more gold later. At least I am.
You said 50, Amavasya?
And Jasnah will give him 50.
Grayson does not have any gold to give out.
Lena will give him 50. Lena's in a
Excellent.
good mood.
I also have a bar of soap. Not sure if that's a component for anything. Well, I have 5 bars of soap.
Cleanliness, I would imagine.
Orryn will give everyone a terse nod and then head out to buy lots of paper and ink.
Amavasya will run with.
Amavasya,
Oh,
as you start leaving the tavern, you accidentally bump into an individual. You notice quickly that they have short reddish hair, 2 folded wings on their back, a little tail, 2 small horns protruding out. And the individual gives you a smile. It does not look like the same person you had met before, though still slightly similar. Definitely more of a masculine build now than the strictly female before. Ah, it's good to see you again.
well, I can do like a 180 and be like, and just point. Current name.
For simplicity's sake, Charin. You can use that on either form. I simply like to change things up whenever. I don't feel so restricted. We play a mean game of chess.
I'd say the same for you. No, voice did not get that high.
Hey, Russell.
Yes. It's so much easier to do wrestling. Yes. I would say the same to you. And we'll like quickly look between Orryn and oh fuck, can't. Is it Charin or Sharon?
Charin.
Chart. Okay, I'm gonna underline the CH. Thank you. Charin. And like do a double take again, like.
You can go with your friend. I will be here all night if you wish to return. I hope you
Oh,
do.
fantastic! and we'll give a deep bow.
They'll go into a curtsy.
Is there a room I should look for, or just come back and ask for you?
Just come back and I'll...
Ooh.
Don't worry.
Wait, why the ooh? I'm confused.
I'm not sure if you were like being like, oh, what room are you gonna be in? But yeah, yeah. Never mind.
Oh, I'm dense. I didn't pick up on that at all.
But yeah, remember where you are.
So what room you staying in, person that clearly works for the brothel?
Oh, this isn't a sex thing now. Everybody's just standing around confused.
You better hurry. Your friend is already.
No,
down.
we're just going to play games all night long. Don't worry, it's nothing sexual at all. Amavasya slowly holding up their arms, like waving them slightly. No, wait, stop making assumptions, please.
Your little friend, despite his short stature, is quite fast when he's focused. You might want to catch up with him.
Right, and we'll book it. Well, actually, I'm like 7.5 feet tall. I probably need some long strides, and that's about it. So we'll just kind of stride after Orryn.
7.5. I think you're the tallest person.
Yeah, I
in
was
the
gonna say,
party.
oh my god, Amavasya is that tall.
Wait, how tall are you?
Amavasya
Oh,
fit
no,
in
never
the
mind.
box?
Correction, Rustlin is 7.5 feet tall. Amavasya is 6 feet tall.
Oh,
But they're still a very big cat.
Still tall.
yeah!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
And this is our sweet rogue Amavasya.
Hello. Have you seen my rat?
Okay. Those who are out on the streets, what's everybody else doing? Is everybody else going between the sheets?
Jasnah's gonna get a room here by herself, or which just her and Amavasya, just not taking part in anything this place has to offer other than the room, because she's trying to save money, so there's money for everyone else, essentially.
You do remember that Jarl offered all the services of the tavern for free tonight.
Yes, but she's not terribly
Oh yeah, I'm
interested.
just making sure it was noted. But the same half-elf who brought you all back to see Jarl before comes up. Is there anything I can get for the lot of you? Some drinks, some food, some entertainment for the night?
I actually, Marius would say this. He's like, I actually forgot something in the Jarl's office. Not the Jarl. In
Jarl.
Jarl's office. Jarl.
Would you two like some more company, or is it a duet?
I will stick with my one dance partner tonight, but thank you, Roy. Very kind. Next time, though, when I come into town.
She'll give you a little wink. Very well, then don't keep me waiting. Anyone else need anything for the evening?
A room, some wine, and some food, please.
Not a problem. And the rest? If I'm not to your fancy, she looks over the rest of the group. We do have
Lena has ordered a food and wine and is just going upstairs.
Orryn is gonna buy 250 gold worth of ink and paper, and then follow someone, find a room somewhere. He doesn't really care where, and spend the next 10 hours learning locate object, shadow blade, and acid dream.
Shadow blade.
Ooh, love that.
What time of day is it?
It was about I'd say about 4:30, between 4:30 and 5. After the meeting and everything.
Strangely, Lena's also going to be spending the next 10 hours relearning locate creature.
But I think that I'm just thinking for 10 hours from 4:30. You'd have to sleep in, but you can get a full night's rest if you don't mind sleeping in.
We're sleeping in.
Fair enough. Amavasya, you ran out
Uh,
chasing Orryn.
Yes, I thought he was going shopping for
You
those
did.
things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm running out of fuel. So we ran out of the building. Orryn's studying his stuff. So like, how much time does shopping take?
He has to go buy the paper and ink first, but that's he spends as little time on that as possible, pretty much.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes to the market from the Blue Boar. So 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back, 5 minutes in the store. So 25 minutes and you're back at the Blue Boar if that's where you're staying.
Yes.
Was there anything Amavasya wanted to catch while they were out, or just giving Orryn some company?
I think mostly company.
All right. Orion, I think you were going to say something earlier. Orion?
Yeah.
You were going to say something earlier, I think.
Oh, it was just a stupid joke when I was gonna be like, oh yeah, when they're sleeping in, I'm sneaking out. That's one. Anyways. That was not worth coming back to. I'm so sorry.
It was like a 4 out of 10. Like, it had potential.
Something. When you got a joke like that, just put it in the chat. Just type it in chat.
Yeah,
It loses its punch.
But anyways, Amavasya, you get back with Orryn. Everyone who wanted a private room gets a private room. Orion, you get your dessert in the back.
How much
Nina,
gold did I get?
he gave you a extra 20 gold.
All right, cool.
Lena, your paramour is upstairs and waiting for you. You have a lovely evening. And Amavasya, when you return,
Lena's gonna have a slight limp when she wakes up, but it's fine. No one needs to worry about that.
Amavasya, when you return, the incubus individual is sitting off on another table, with a chess set spread out in front of them.
Is there anybody on the other side, or are they just chilling?
Nope, they're just chilling, looking out the window.
We'll stroll on up to them then. Is this seat taken?
Indeed it is. By yourself.
Well, I've taken care of my errands. Shall we play?
Indeed. We shall. This time they gave you the white set, so you may begin. And play into the night.
Yeah, I think some of us is gonna be like gaming until it's realistically like
Gaming.
their eyes are like like starting to like roll back in their head because they're tired, and then they're gonna be like, I really have to go to bed.
Not a problem. And they put the pieces back into the regular order and pulls up a key. Here is your room. Have a nice night.
Oh, well, thank you. and nod and take the key.
Gives a smile and a nod back. Take care, Amavasya. And they'll get up and head off into a back room.
I will just sort of happily go to my room then, and then proceed to hang out with Dusk before passing out.
All right. Everyone wakes the next morning. Some of you having interesting nights. For anyone who wishes to sleep in, we'll say that you slept until 9:30, 10 o'clock to get your full night's rest. Everyone else can start earlier if they wish, or they can sleep in.
I'm fucking snoozing.
I think the only two who would be are Grayson and Jasnah might be up early.
Orion would actually have gotten up, and he would be like sneaking out of Jarl's room, like talking to himself, being like, "I really wish that you would be the one that sneaks out in the morning, so it's not always me."
Oh, by the by, with everyone staying there, Grayson would have said fuck it and stayed there anyways. But
You do not sleep well at all, Grayson. You feel as though there's some sort of weight just sitting cross-legged on your chest the entire time.
he would have reached out to her and tried to be like, I'm just staying here, being safe with the group or being watched. Also, I got this book for you.
Philly kind of hops up and is sitting on your face. Oh, you're in the doghouse now. Or is it the wolf house?
But the following morning, Grayson could be found probably downstairs or just sitting at a table or anywhere, and he is reading the romance novel he got the previous day.
Let's read a romance novel in a brothel.
Suiting the atmosphere.
I knew. Oh, damn it, why am I forgetting the name?
Oh, I have it written down. The Tusky romance novel.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the character in it.
Oh, Scudder.
Oh, I don't
Oscar.
I don't have that written down.
Oscar. You hear of
Oscar.
Oscar's love. Thank you.
Oscar
Why don't they
and
just use
Guinevere.
Chester's accent? That one's so much easier for me to do.
I mean, anyways, everyone else slowly wakes up in their various disheveled states. But it is a new day, a new dawn, new trials and tribulations to set off on next week. So this is a good spot to end.
Bum, bum, bam.
We did the thing.
Yeah.
Well, gang, we are now in parts with organized crime.
I feel like this was inevitable for Amma.
To be
Little
fair, as soon as we said yes to that contract in that small town, we were.
Essentially.
100% without a doubt.
We were getting involved.
In some form or another. Something.
There was
that could go down.
absolutely no way we were avoiding this.
No. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I do actually love playing Jarl. He's one of my favorites.
Jasnah thinks he's incompetent.
Orion can tell you how competent he is.
Oh, Orion probably couldn't, but his counterpoint could.
Yeah, I feel like Orion is probably somewhere in the mind, like trying to read a brain book or whatever they have back in there. It's just like, I can't believe we're doing this again.
So, nope, 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 nope.
Okay,
Why?
what was this Orion like split like explained at the beginning
Yeah,
of the session? Okay.
yeah.
'Cause
So
I
you
was
would
just
have
like,
been there
there's
for
two.
that. Yeah. So he has what he assumes to be a split personality, and his other personality is Marius Sinclair, and Marius is very opposite of Orion. He is more talkative, a little bit more crass. Yeah, basically the opposite of what a cleric should be, depending on the
God.
religion you follow.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean basically exactly what a cleric should be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I will end the
also,
stream here.
Thank you, stream.
good
Bye.
night, stream.
Bye,
Night, internet.
stream.